All right, hello. This is a new series that I will be doing along with my partner, Chris Jones.
Hello, that is me.
It's going to be called Limited Experience. This is the first episode. What the idea is he and I are going to go through a draft on Magic Online, and we're going to talk through our picks and like the plays that we make and stuff. Draft videos are pretty common already on Magic Online, so this isn't like a new idea per se, but we wanted to give it a go because it sounded like a fun time. Sorry about that little break. I realized I hadn't actually bought my I hadn't bought into the draft yet, so I needed to purchase the stuff required for it, and I don't want my credit card information to be online. Should start loading into a queue soon. There we go. Alright, our first pack is loading, so we'll see our cards soon and we can talk about the picks. My card images are messed up, and that sucks, but we're going to have to go off of titles anyway.
Yeah, that's something, okay.
Yeah, so our rare is the Herald of Secret Streams. He's the one who lets you have unblockable as long as your creatures have 1/1 counters. Imperial Aerosaur has been a very good uncommon in my experience. I think it's probably my favorite of these three.
I would be willing to pick it, although I also am a firm supporter of Pious Interdiction, when possible.
We do have a Pious, which is pacifism that gains you life when you play it. That's probably the best common. I think Imperial Aerosaur is better.
And it's possible we might get some white on the wheel.
Yeah. I haven't been a huge fan of Herald of Secret Streams unless you're hardcore in the Merfolk deck already, because there's not that many incidental 1/1 counters. The 1/1 counters are mostly off of being a Merfolk deck. We should be seeing the second pack soon. It looks like Moto's lagging a little bit.
It tends to do that. Do you want to sing a little song, do a dance number?
You can do a dance. You can dance if you want to.
You can leave your friends behind. If your friends don't dance, and if they don't dance, well then no friends of mine. So you can go where you never find them.
We can act like we come from out of this world.
And you know we won't fall behind. We can dance and sing.
That is. Why is this?
Now, guys. So Limited Experience is going to be a music YouTube channel in about a week. Just throwing that out there. We're not going to do magic anymore. Just singing. Boom.
Okay, it's lagging pretty hard, actually. We should have seen our second pack about a minute ago.
Yeah.
It might actually be forcing us picks.
That would be an interesting way to start off the show.
I've actually done a stipulation draft before where I didn't pick any cards. I just let Moto pick everything for me and then built a deck out of what I ended up with. Did not go well, but I did it. Alright. Magic, why are you lagging? It might just be I don't have a good enough internet connection to support Skype call while Magic Online.
That would be real depressing.
It would be. Alright, I'm going to try ending the call and see if it catches up with itself at all.
Okay.
I'll see you in a minute.
You.
Yeah, we actually got 3 force picks, including the Herald of Secret Stream somehow, even though we picked that pack. So we're pretty solidly behind. Might have to try this again some other time, to be honest.
Okay.
I'll kill the recording software and see if it picks up at all, like if it lets me screen share without that.
What's your internet connection look like? Like what's your quality there?
I don't actually know. It's a I rent the apartment.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
You can still look at it on your computer.
Like the bars, or like how much downspeed does it have?
Yeah, you should be able to look at all that.
I'm not sure where to find it then, I'll be honest.
Okay, you should be able to go into your little clicky button where it has the little, in my world, what, 3 bars? Yeah. 3 bars, 3 rings in a circle. And then you should be able to open up, select Wi-Fi or Ethernet, whatever it is you have. And then open up, where's the button here? Turn your Wi-Fi on. I went backwards and I don't remember how to get back. Not hardware properties, that's wrong. That tells you things. Tells you your bandwidth, tells you your channel. No copy. It's the wrong button. Where is the...
So the Skype call's working fine. It's I think the screen sharing that was killing it. I'll try throwing it back up. So we got force picked 2 expiring clerics, the Herald, and a Deadeye Tormentor. Blues looks pretty open, so I've been continuing to pick from there. And then last pack, I got a Razzle-Dazzle Raptor.
Okay.
It looks like it's keeping up pretty okay now. I guess it just didn't like the connection at first.
Possible.
So we're pretty blue-white at this point.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I don't
Spell
really
Swindle
like
or
any of these, so probably Spell Swindle or Canton Keeper, of course, but hear me out. Island.
We will not be picking the Island.
Okay, because that's the most playable card in the pack.
That's probably true. We're not really in a Kinjali's color deck. I don't think I have any dinosaurs.
I think Prime Blade is the pick here.
I'm pretty sure it's a sideboard pick, though. I don't think we want it main.
I mean, we're not running any of those cards, aside from possibly Prime Blade.
That's fair.
I think Spell Pierce is the...
I already have one, though, but I still think...
Yeah, but we're not going to use any of those other cards. And we're not going to steal a forest out of somebody's green deck.
Alright. So, but we are pretty much blue. We could actually end up, like, decently mono blue, honestly. With a little bit of white, and then the blue-white dual land.
Blue-white dual is going to be real nice.
Yeah.
Lightning Strike's hard to go past. Although Legion's Judgment, Removal is king. I can make a mean case for Legion's Judgment.
We didn't see that much white in the first pack. These were... 2 of these were force picks. I think taking Lightning Strike might be okay.
Well, there's only one blue card in the pack.
Yeah, we don't want a third Spell Pierce.
Mm-hmm.
I think taking Lightning Strike might be okay because we didn't see much red coming around, but that means it got cut on our right. Which means we can back cut them on the left.
That is also true.
I also think Lightning Strike's just the best card in this pack.
I'd be perfectly willing to believe that, even though there is a lot of good removal in this pack.
There is quite a good amount of removal.
Vanquish, Blood Judgment.
Pounce has gone down for me.
Really?
I started really high on it, and then I feel like the Savage Stomp is just a better fight card. And I kind of want to take the Thundering Spine back. I'll be completely honest here. But that is not a good pick.
I mean, I really enjoy it, but once again, it's not a good pick here. I think I can make another case for another Lightning Strike or the Territorial Hammer Skull. As good as removal is, Territorial Hammer Skull might as well be a pacifism.
Yeah, it's done work when I've played it.
It's going in my cube, so...
Well, if we take the Territorial Hammer Skull, I think we are declaring that we're going to be on white.
I would believe that.
Which we don't have a whole lot of good draws to white right now.
Well, we can take the Lightning Strike and hope against all hopes that the Hammer Skull wheels.
Hammer Skull's not wheeling.
Yeah, exactly.
Lightning Strike was a speculation pick. We can try to stick with white. Pterodon's been pretty okay. But we don't have any dinosaurs. We have one dinosaur to make him fly. So Run Aground or Queen's Commission? My gut says Run Aground's better, but I'm really not sure about that.
I am following your gut in this situation. Once again, removal, and I've never been impressed by, or too impressed by Queen's Commission. Because, granted, is 2 power into creatures with lifelink.
That's making me want to splash green.
Ooh. Okay.
I also...
Watertrap Weaver is great.
I like Watertrap Weaver. Frostlinks is never a bad card.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in this...
those are our 2 options.
We could do Chart a Course. That's pretty good. It's a better divination as long as you've attacked.
That's true.
But I kind of want to go with the Splashy Mythic, I'll be honest.
I'm open to having fun. I mean, it is a card game.
We have Enchantment Creature, a second Run Aground, an Opt, which is alright. Or the 2/5 vanilla guy.
Well, what's our curve look like on our creature base? We got a little bit of creatures there.
We have 8 creatures total.
Curve's not bad. I like Opt, but I don't think it's that good in draft, because Opt lets you find things that you would take instead of Opt.
That's fair.
So I think my vote is Run Aground.
Okay, I can respect that. I think we need to start really prioritizing creatures soon, though, because we only have... Yeah. We already have 7 not creatures.
I was noticing that, too.
I like River Sneak, as long as we have enough Merfolks to make him good. We have... 2 Merfolk?
We could count Queen's Commission as a creature.
We didn't take Queen's Commission.
It's on our pack.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think the Looter might actually be the pick.
I think I agree with you there, because once again, we need creatures, and he is pseudo card advantage.
I've been suitably impressed with Sunrise Seeker, the Vigilance with Explore.
Same. I think the only other option here is Inspiring Cleric.
We already have 2 of. So,
exactly.
And I think Sunrise Seeker is just better. I mean, a 3/2 for 3 is fine. I think in this particular set, you'd want a 2/3 more than a 3/2. And gaining 4 life Like, incidental life gain is a real thing, but I'm not
I
really
agree.
sure how much...
I am still with Sunrise Seeker.
Yeah.
I would love to wield the Inspiring Fair, but I don't have faith that will happen.
Yeah, and I do think we need to start really prioritizing taking more white. I do like Paladin of the Bloodstained. It's the 3/2 that makes the 1/1 friend. I think he's a very good card.
I think he's also the pick here because we have not, like you said earlier, not much in the way of creatures. And we only really had one other option in that pack.
We did wield the Legion's Judgment, the kill spell.
I think that's snap keep. Yeah, because we don't need any more spell pierces, and we don't have anything to support with Cobbled Wings.
Yeah. We got an Opt and a Siren's Ruse, which is the one that lets you flicker it, and if it's a pirate, you draw a card. I think I like Siren's Ruse more than Opt.
I think Siren's Ruse has a higher top end. I don't really want either of them, but I think Siren's Ruse is the optimal.
It'll be a sideboard pickup. I am not entirely against the Gilded Sentinel. Just
at this point, I think it's the only one of these that we're going to play.
It's not good, but we really just need a creature. I think the Sentries is better.
Yes.
5 seems to be the magic toughness this time around. I do like one Enchantment Keeper. I think it was super good. Just pumping.
I'm open to one Enchantment Keeper, and it's a 1-drop that occasionally does things. It's not reliable, but sometimes it's an option.
Yeah. What I just did with taking a Plains, it's a little trick you can do is if you think the person to your right or left is in a color, you can pick a land over what would normally be the force, so that you can tell them, hey, I want you to be in green, and then if they were already in green, it's just more of an incentive, because it's saying, I'm not in green, and you might want to pick it up.
Okay. Well, I learned something today.
I like One with the Wind. I thought it was super good.
I love One with the Wind. I also like Siren Lookout.
Oh yeah, that's a Siren Lookout, hands down.
A 3-drop 2/3 flyer is great.
Or a 3-drop 1/2 that draws you a card. Either way is perfectly happy. I think it's the combat trick. The Slash Talons.
I am inclined to agree. It is removal. We are open to having more creatures, but we don't necessarily need to force them as much anymore.
Yeah, I don't want another Shipwreck Looter. We already have 2. And Deep-Root Waters is basically unplayable. And Ritual of Rejuvenation is kind of bad, honestly. We don't care to gain life and draw a card for 3 mana. That's not what we want to be doing. I think the pick here is between the Emissary and the Soldier. Either a 2/1 that explores.
I also like Paladin of the Bloodstained, though. And Legion's Judgment, but I still agree with your decision.
Yeah, I like other cards in this pack, and I hope, like, I'd be okay with Cancel Wheeling or Paladin. I think the pick, though, is Emissary. A 2/1 first strike for 3's fine, and he's sometimes a 3/2 instead.
I'm open to that.
I think I would want a Bishop Soldier over a Paladin. Just the plain 2/2 life flicker. And I think the Emissary of Sunrise is better. What do you think?
I still am always a sucker for removal, but Explore is one of the top-end mechanics of the set. There's
Explorer just treated me really well at the pre-release. I was very impressed with it.
Yeah.
Like, a slightly undercosted card that either draws you a card or becomes bigger than it should be is kind of a great card. I like Stormfleet Spy here.
Was slightly overcosted earlier, but yes, I think Stormfleet Spy is a snap pick here.
Oh.
Although Bishop Soldier is always good, a Lifelink Bear is solid.
We do need to start considering cuts that we're going to have to make. I think we just take the other side to look out. It's just a great card.
Water Trap Weaver is also a great card.
I should mention we do have a favorable winds, so we care about flying.
Okay, I wasn't there for that then.
Yeah.
I think. Sorry, look out.
Maybe the Bishop Soldier here?
I think Bishop Soldier is where it's at, because it does work, and we don't need the rest of those other options.
I like the Lookout's Dispersal as the pick here. I think it's better than everything else, and it's foil, so you know it's pretty.
Well, of course, but I do like Sunrise Seeker. There we go, now I can see myself.
I could see Sunrise Seeker being the pick here. That wouldn't surprise me.
And I still am a sucker for creatures and removal. And
we'll go there. So I took out one of the Shipwreck Looters. We do want one with the wind now. It's straight better than everything else we could pick up out of this pack. We want to be somewhere around this counter being 24, so that we have 23 not lands, because we have the Glacial Fortress in there too.
You mean... Or wait, never mind. I thought you said 23 lands, and I was about to be confused why people would watch your video series. Like, okay guys, 23 lands, every deck, boom.
17 not lands, dot deck.
Exactly.
I think we might want to take the Unknown Shores over the second one with the wind, because we do have a splash.
Which I still don't think is quite the best choice, but it's a fun Timmy card in this situation. Or, okay, yeah. And
I'm willing to accept that it's wrong to include it, but I still want to include it.
And in the end, we're here for fun.
I think Skyblade of the Legion's actually better, though, because he does have flying, and a 1/3 is perfectly serviceable.
I'm open to that being the pick.
I think it's a Shipwreck Looter on the board.
I agree. So I wouldn't play any of this other stuff in this deck.
Well, I'm not planning on playing the Shipwreck Looter either. I will play Cancel. I'm not above a counterspell. I don't think we want a second one, though. Which
I think we want the Prosperous Pirates.
We can trim down on our creatures at this point. We have 21. We'll put one opt in the main. Alright. Now it's going to take us to another screen for people that aren't familiar with Magic Online, and we can look at how our deck looks. As soon as everyone else finishes picking, which there's one guy left.
He's got to decide whether he wants that island or that island.
Basically.
Basically.
Ha. That's weird. It didn't actually make the deck. Usually, it auto-populates this with your picks.
Well, maybe he doesn't like us today.
That seems to be the case. So, going down white.
Hear me out. Red-black pirates.
Gonna be honest here, I don't think that'll work.
Well, maybe I should need to draft more, get some experience. My experience is rather limited right now.
That's the name! So I think we only want one Spell Pierce. I don't think we want both.
I wouldn't run 2 Spell Pierces in a Pauper Cube. Much less a reasonably competitive draft deck.
I'm just going through right now, and all the ones I plan on actually deck. Do we have any 1/1 counter synergies other than the 4 Explorer cards we have?
I don't think so.
Still, 5 drop 4/4 Vigi that's unblockable seems pretty okay.
I mean, I'm happy for a 3 power Vigis, or 3 power unblockable, so.
It wouldn't be unblockable if it only had 3 power, though, because it would have to.
Well, that's true. I was making a little allusion there to the 4-drop 3/2 unblockable bounce a creature.
Gotcha. Okay, so after putting in the cards we actually want, which I think you're right that we don't play the Tishana, and that makes me sad. I think we need to cut 2 not creatures. There we go. Because we do want to be in the 17 creature range, just generally speaking. How many pirates do we have?
A fair amount, actually.
I know we ended up with a decent number, but...
At least like 6.
I think it's 4. Vampire.
Siren Lookout's a pirate.
There they are. So we have 6. That makes Siren Root's pretty good. I'm willing to accept Perilous Voyage is wrong.
Yeah. I would generally rather have Run Aground in this situation.
I don't think we actually want the Enchantment Keeper.
We don't want the Encampment Keeper either.
I thought there was a nation there.
Now you learned something. Now we can call it an educational video.
Basically. How many flyers do we have? 2. Three, make a 4th one. I don't think one with the wind is good. Or, sorry, I don't think favorable winds is good.
Like, what? One with the wind is amazing.
One with the wind's very good. But we only have 3 natural flyers and then an enchantment that gives flying. So I don't think...
I think we can cut the favorable winds.
Combine groups, sort by CMC. That seems like a pretty reasonable curve. We are low to the ground.
Which is kind of weird for blue-white, but maybe we're drafting original Ravnica and we just didn't know it.
9-7 seems like a fine split.
Well, let's look at our actual numbers.
Let's do this scientifically.
Let's not just throw this all around higgledy-piggledy. It's not the most educational.
Alright, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We have 14 blue costs, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 white costs. And then we have a dual source, so we'll have 8 white sources and 10 blue sources, and that seems right.
See, now that we've explained it, it's okay.
You are correct. You should keep me in line with stuff like this. And we're gonna say...
That's why I'm here. I'm not actually useful beyond that, so...
And we're gonna load up the first round. I'm gonna pause the video until we actually get into a match.
I agree.
Alright, this is gonna be round 1 with our blue-white aggro deck, I suppose?
I think that's correct.
This hand... looks like a keep to me.
I'd play it in Hearthstone.
Really not sure why our Plains has a ninja on it, but...
It's kind of cool, though. Maybe it's an allude to the fact that we're going to Kamigawa right after Dominaria. Screw Core Set 2019 or 2018.
Sirens... So, the first couple turns are going to be... What's up?
Why'd you play a Plains instead of an island?
I want to play Bishop Soldier on turn 2.
Bishop Soldier costs white and generic. We could have gone with an island.
Yeah, but I would very much forget next turn to play a Plains. I would play a second island because I sometimes just misclick. And that would lead to having 2 islands on the field and no way to cast Bishop Soldier.
Okay. I, not being you, would have gone with the island. And then turn 2 Plains, Bishop Soldier, and then turn 3 probably Inspiring Cleric, or Island Inspiring Cleric, and then possibly have the option for cancel instead of Inspiring Cleric.
Yeah.
But I don't think we need to.
There's a fair amount of time that I'd agree with you, but only if I had a blue spell that I could cast at a
At instant speed in their instep, yes.
well, concealing information isn't as important there, because either way they're going to know we're white and blue by turn 2.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, playing the planes is actually possibly more right, because if we drop into a second planes, we could hide our second color.
Yeah, but then we don't have the option to cancel on turn 3.
That is very true. So they're going to attack, tap down our bishop, we'll take 2.
Mm-hmm.
Is it better to hold up cancel or play a second creature and gain 4?
I think in this situation it's actually better to hold up cancel because our cleric would kill their hammer skull.
No,
but if our cleric
because they would just tap down our cleric instead.
Well, yes, that's what I was about to get into though.
Okay.
Is they would tap down our cleric and then it would kill our soldier. So either way we're losing a creature. So if we're gonna have one creature, we might as well have it on our terms and cancel whatever they play, be it a Sky Terror or what have you.
Yeah, that seems reasonable to me. Alright, they're stopped on our instep for some reason, which is really weird to me because they're tapped out. But you can see it's their turn because their clock is blue. So they're the ones who have priority right now.
Maybe it's their secret strategy. Maybe they're playing a mono green deck that is just holding counter spells in your instep and refusing to pass priority. Maybe it's this new top level secret tech that we don't know about.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess that all of that statements are untrue. Partially because
I said maybe.
They are not green currently. Green does not have counter
know.
spells.
It does an older magic.
There were some green counters. There are also some red counters. Pyroblast was one.
See, boom, you're making my case right here.
If they had Pyroblast, they could actually ruin our day. Because Pyroblast counters a blue spell. And about over half of our deck is blue.
Well, if they had Pyroblast, we should also take a screenshot and report them.
Probably a good point. That hasn't been legal since... Was it 4th?
Well, since I'm not being screen shared, I can check in my other tab.
Yeah. Wonder why they're waiting so long.
I really hope that they didn't lag out and we're actually waiting. Or we didn't lag out and we're actually waiting. That would make me sad.
No, it's pretty good about... If you're the one lagging, your clock will be blue. Like, it's a thing.
So the last time Pyroblast was in Standard was 5th Ed.
5th, okay.
It came back for Eternal Masters, but that doesn't really count.
So I think I'm going to pause the video until they come back.
Well, we could actually do an introduction since right now nobody really knows or cares about us being here.
Sure. All right, let's hear you.
Well, I am Chris Jones, partner of this Mr. Adam Lockard, who you're hearing on the other side of the line. And I am here, I guess, to keep him in line, make sure he doesn't go over people's heads, since that's sort of his thing. I'm here to be the voice of the noob when possible, and if anybody's ever actually watching this, please let me know in the comments if there's something I'm doing right, if there's something you'd like to see me do differently. I'm hoping this applies to my co-host also, since everyone can use improvements, especially those with limited experience. And I'm mostly here as a people person, which is weird considering I'm pursuing an engineering degree. But in relation to Magic, I've been here actively since Born of the Gods, and I learned to play around original Zendikar using a friend of mine's old Kamigawa intro decks in the bunk beds of a cabin and a Boy Scout trip, which was my last Boy Scout trip. But I think there's my Magic background, outside of the fact that I've been pauper cubing for about 2 or 3 years now and playing EDH since about the beginning of my real career. What about you, Mr. Adam?
I learned how to play Magic when I was about 12, so I've about a decade ago, actually, which makes me feel super old. It would have been right around the same time, just before Zendikar, I think. I know I got my first deck was for Shards of Alara, but I didn't know anyone who played, so I kind of just like played with my brothers with those old decks whenever we could. Never really got into it very much, and then when there he goes. But when I right around Return to Ravnica, all three of us, me and my two brothers, got really back into the game, and I've been playing straight on ever since. Limited's the best format. I have several commander decks that I share games with Chris. That's most of my Magic career. I'm an engineering major at USI.
Which, for those of you that don't know, is University of Southern Indiana. Since most people don't know that Indiana is a state, it also happens to have a couple universities in it too.
It is absolutely worth countering Teriodon.
I would agree.
We do not need a 3/3 flyer on our hands.
Well, we would love a 3/3 flyer, just not on their board.
Not on their hands, that's fair.
If it's fine if it's in their hand, as long as they never play it.
So, we're going to attack first. For people who are newer to Magic, it's always advantageous, and as a general rule, you should attack before playing things that will not affect combat. If the card you're planning on playing would change how combat's going to work out on that turn, you should play it pre-combat. But aside from that, you should play it after combat, so then you can bluff tricks and stuff.
So, I think it's your Magic Online, but the whole system sound thing made that little speech there kind of unintelligible. There was a big ring when you did a noise.
Give me a second, and I will actually mute Magic Online.
That's probably for the best. Just be sure to carefully flash us your credit card number.
So what I was saying was, if you're newer to Magic, one of the things that you don't really know but you should learn is it's always better to play spells that won't affect combat after main phase 1. So after combat's already happened. The reason for this is it will let you buff or bluff like combat tricks and stuff, so that people who if you're playing against your opponent, I have white 3 up instead of nothing because I would have played a 4-drop, for example. If the card you're playing would affect combat in some way, like a hasted creature, then you should go ahead and play it before combat in that case. That being said, I think our turn is Inspiring Cleric.
I would tend to agree.
Reason I'm wanting to do this specifically is next turn we'll be able to play the Prospering Pirates, which is a big dude, which will also give us a blocker for their Territorial Hammerskull. And then we can use the Prosperous Pirate's Treasure to flicker him after he's been targeted by the Territorial Hammerskull to be tapped down. And draw a card.
And, yeah, I was going to say we can flicker him with the Siren's Ruse. So.
Exactly. Now, we're going to lose because they're going to play a turn 4 charging Monstrosaur, which is the 5-drop, 5-5 with Trample and Haste.
Mm-hmm.
It is a terrifying monster.
Hence the name.
Alright. So we're going to take a non-zero amount of damage.
What was that?
I just muted the sounds on this. What's up?
I was going to say you did a bang-up job of muting the sound.
In dual settings.
Just go back to your output settings on sound and display that you had a couple seconds ago and mute in dual, and probably alerts too, honestly.
Yeah. I didn't notice that in dual and general were separate.
That's why we're here. And by we, I mean me.
That is a Shining Aerosaur.
Mm-hmm.
A 3/4 flying.
Not overly fond of that being there. Just gonna come out and say it.
We drew a second Prospering Pirates.
Why are we playing it turn?
We're not going because we're not going to combat. We don't have good attacks, so there's no reason for us to combat, so we're going to just skip through the rest of our turn.
Okay.
I mean, unless you just... Attacking a 2-2 and a 3-2 into a 3-4 is not the best plan for winning a game of Magic.
Unless we wanted to bluff some serious combat tricks.
Alright, it doesn't look like he's going to take our Territorial Hammerskull bait.
He must not be a master of that tactic.
I mean... Oh, okay. So, something I've noticed about Ixalan, it is very flyer-based, even if you wouldn't normally think that.
I would agree. Flyers won me almost every pre-release game that I won.
So I like the idea of run-agrounding his Aerosaur, the untapped one, and then swinging with the Cleric and the Pirates. And this is an example of when you play a card that will affect combat pre-combat, because it changes how the game works.
Also, when you play an instant in your main phase instead of as a combat trick or in your opponent's instant.
Yeah, because we didn't want them to declare the Shining Aerosaur as a blocker and then flip it, because then we would lose out on damage. It looks like he's okay with trading, which I'm pretty okay with that trade as well.
Considering we have a virtual vanilla and they have a pacifism on legs.
So I think at the end of their turn, regardless of what they do, I'm going to flicker my Prospering Pirates, because it will net us 2 treasure and draw us a card.
I would agree.
See, this is, that was us lagging, where I clicked OK and it just didn't register that for a few seconds. So we're going to take 3. And he's probably just going to replay a Shining Aerosaur, because there's no reason for him to not do that. Yep, there it is. So we're going to flicker our Prospering Pirates. It didn't really need to be in response, but this will skip the rest of our turn, so that we don't have to wait for any permissions. I'm actually not sure what's the right play here.
Well, Chief, I think that not attacking is beneficial. I also think, let's see, we have what? A bunch of...
We have a Sunrise Seeker, a Paladin of the Bloodstained, whose 3-2 makes the friend, and a second Prosperous Pirate.
I think here the play is we open... Oh, wait, no, we do have a second Prosperous Pirate, don't we? I was going to say we open with Sunrise Seeker, hopefully get a Plains, play the Plains, and then draw...
Slam Paladin.
Yeah.
That was my thought, too. I think that's the best way to go.
There's also the option, though, to pirate and get more treasure and drop some more dude misses.
I like the idea of the Sunrise Seeker, because especially if it gets the counter, it will be able to attack into the Aerosaurs. And it also lets us know what our next draw is going to be. So I think I'm going to go with that.
I agree.
Magic, stop lagging. There we go. Alright, so we're going to get an Explorer trigger, and we found a land.
Where did you see that? I don't know where we were looking there.
It popped up. It was mostly the fact that I drew a land. I
missed it entirely. Me being not an active Moto user.
Yeah, it just appeared in my hand, so I mean I drew it. Usually it's a little pop out. That would be like this.
I think we still cast the Paladin.
I'm leaning towards we do too.
I think we cast the Paladin, though.
I think we're with the Paladin. So we want this to make us white. which I clicked black because I'm good at magic. But this one's going to be white, and then 2. And I don't think we have any attacks.
I would agree, otherwise we would have taken them earlier.
Alright, he clearly has something because he's willing to attack with both creatures, which means he's not afraid of us attacking back.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on? That looks scary. That's scary. This guy is a 5/4, and whenever he takes damage, he deals 3 damage to us. So... we drew planes.
Lovely. We can get a ninjutsu trigger now.
It says not a ninja, even though it has the artwork of one.
But our sunrise secret is clearly Jace getting lost on an island.
So right, yeah.
See, they're at what, 15? If they block our biggest dudes, we take the 3, which hurts us very painfully and probably makes us lose on the next turn. So not swinging out is in our benefit here.
Yeah, I don't know actually if we want to attack at all.
That's kind of where I'm at. I think we just drop the contents of our, or at least the pirates out of our hand, and then...
I'm wanting to hold on to the planes to bluff a card.
Mm-hmm. And if they slam a swamp and duress us, then they're not going to get any real benefit.
Yeah. This is a little trick that can make you a lot better at Magic. It's not always right to do, but sometimes, and that's the wonderful thing about Magic, is there is very few things that are always the right play. Sometimes you want to hold a land to bluff having like a combat trick or something.
Unless, of course, you're in the situation that occurred when you and I were facing down in the cube, and I had 6 lands on field and realized I don't have anything higher than 6. I should just keep this extra forest in my hand. And I dropped a Brambleweft Behemoth, which, for those of you that don't know, is a 6-drop 6/6 trample elemental, common from Hour of Devastation. And then he happened to get Force Spiked. Had I dropped the lands, then the Behemoth, it wouldn't have mattered, and he would have burned his Force Spike. Actually, if he was a smart player, which hopefully my co-host is, otherwise this is going to be difficult, then, oh, this is the world changed while I was ranting. Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, so the world changed, and the answer is we lose, because we top deck 2 planes in a row. We have no way to deal with the Shining Aerosaurs, and we're going to take a lot of damage next turn.
So, now here comes the part where ideally we would crack 4 fetch lands right before they deal damage, but given this is the Ixalan Unlimited format, that's not an option.
So instead, we're just going to concede.
Take the man's way out and commit honorable harakiri.
Now, generally, conceding is actually never right, because they could, like, not see the attack or something. But all he had to do was attack with both of his flyers, which we didn't have a comeback to, and he would have killed us. So, I like this hand a lot. We have a turn 2 Skyblade into a turn 3 Siren Lookout. I think we're keeping it. We're going to play a planes, and we are going to pass. He has a 1-drop. He is praising the sun. Now, While we wait for things to crash, I'm actually not sure. Do you think it's more correct to play the Siren Lookout on 3 or the Emissary of Sunrise on 3?
I think, based on what we know about the format and all these flyers, I would not object to getting in some early flying damage.
He already, he praised the sun and showed us a shining aerosaur, so we know we're taking damage in the air soon. That was technically incorrect.
Yeah,
okay, so we have a cancel on top. The thing is, he now knows that we have a cancel on top.
But he might just bluff himself over and over, and I'm cool with chilling with 3 mana open while we beat his face in because he doesn't want to drop his Aerosaur. I think we take the cancel.
I'm putting cancel back on top. I think that's the correct play. There it goes. And then we're going to get in for 1. He might... He's representing Lightning Strike. An important thing in Magic Limited especially is knowing what removal's in the format. Because then you'll know by what colors and order they've held up cards what they're likely to be playing. Or probably only has 1 Shining Aerosaur in his hand. Inspiring Cleric, he's going to gain some life. Alright, Shining Aerosaur costs 5, so we're okay with tapping out 1 more time. I think that means we want to play the Emissary, because it will let us block his... Spurs. It will let us block his Inspiring Cleric, and if our top card's a land, we could then follow it up with a Shipwreck Looter and get to loot, which is a great card. Another general tip of Magic is when you have the option to loot, you always should, unless your hand is literally the best it can possibly be. If anything at all would make your hand better, you should loot. I think we want our Siren's Roost in the graveyard.
I don't think it does that all very much in this situation, so I agree.
So you want to loot always, because either it makes your hand better, or it gets you closer to the cards that would make your hand better. So the only time you should never loot is if, for example, your opponent has exactly 3 health and you have a Lightning Bolt in hand, you probably shouldn't loot then, because the Lightning Bolt kills them.
You probably should cast Lightning Bolt.
That is the correct option. So they didn't play anything. So I think we're swinging with the Siren Looter and the Skyblade, and then playing the Looter and looting. The second reason we're doing this post-combat is his abilities are Raid trigger, and Raid only works if we've had a creature attack this turn.
Raid is a fancy mechanic that tells you that you should be a good player and just use the second main phase. It also reminds players that the second main phase exists.
So we're gonna loot with our Shipwreck Looter, who is our friend. And he's missed a couple land drops. We would like to draw a card, and we will discard. I think we discard the Sunrise Seeker here.
That was gonna be my choice too.
I think the Hammer Skull's just better, and we obviously don't want to lose our cancel. And I think at this point we just kind of hope to draw a Plains, and then we can slam Territorial Hammer Skull while representing cancel still.
I would agree.
He is 1 turn closer to the... What is this? That's a Teriodon. I think we're okay with it.
Yeah, he doesn't have a dinosaur, and hopefully he won't anytime soon.
And we're mildly terrified of a Shining Aerosaur.
Mm-hmm.
Are we willing to take a risk?
No, because
think the
we know
answer is
he's
no.
going to drop the Aerosaur, assuming he draws a mountain, and assuming that he's capable of putting red mana sources in his deck, he's going to drop a mountain.
Well, we would know he'd have to top deck exactly a land, is the good news. The bad news is, if he top decks exactly a land and our Siren Lookout doesn't get us a land, then we're facing down 2 3/3s with flying, and that's really bad. I don't think the Siren Lookout's worth that.
I would agree.
We know you have a Shining Aerosaur. Alright. What is he playing now? We are okay with you playing a 1/7. God, that is the goofiest card.
It needs to have reach.
Yeah. Of course, that does turn on his Pterodon. So she is flying now. Alright, we're going to take a 3, which I think means we actually leave our flyers back because we want to be able to block that guy profitably. Hey, we would have gotten there. On record.
Yeah, but we don't want to use results-oriented thinking.
Oh yeah, results-oriented thinking's awful. You should never do it.
Yeah, if you want to hear somebody credible talk about that, we can link limited resources in the description there.
Should be noted, we are not affiliated with Limited Resources.
No, we just appreciate their content.
We do. They're very good, and they are both good players, and they talk, like, they have good content. I don't think we care about this 2/5 vanilla dude.
No.
I missed an attack. We could have gotten in with the Skyblade because then we have 2 2/3s with flying, and they both could have. Still double blocked it successfully. Sure. The 5/5 that can't attack our block alone.
It might wreck us on the ground. We might live to regret that or die to regret that, but the option's out there.
We can keep playing cards now while holding up cancel.
Yes.
So I think we're still in fine shape, honestly. Or we can just Legion Judgment the 5/5.
I would be down for that. I have no sincere objections.
I mean, that seems pretty good. This Priest of the Awakening Sun's just doing work. I mean, it's what, turn 8? It's gained them 14 life over the course of the game. Yes. We know you have a Shining Aerosaur. Are you going to try to play the Shining Aerosaur? He is going to attempt to. We're going to counter it.
Yep. Pay 3 mana and all his Priest of the Awakening Sun.
Well, the thing is, he had 2 last game.
Well, yeah.
So what if he's just being
a joke than a statement, but it's the pocket cast.
What if he's just clowning and we did draw Spell Pierce, which means we can counter the next one when it comes down.
You mean Aerosaur? Because Aerosaur is a creature spell.
Oh yes, I forgot Spell Pierce only works on non-creatures. This is why it's important to read your cards, friends.
This is why it's important to have a co-host too. Just bring a second head over your shoulder on a webcam to all of your Magic tournaments. I'm sure that's some sort of illegal, but I'm not a judge, so...
It's probably rather illegal, I'll be honest.
I prefer it when you're honest, generally.
So the thing is, you don't realize how much longer commentating your turns takes. We only have 8 minutes left on our clock. If this clock runs to 0, you just lose the match. And I usually, in a longer match, will have 10 plus minutes left at the end of the match. We have 8, and we're still in game 2. So if we go to game 3, we have to play quick.
Yeah.
Of course, part of that has been the result of lagging a little bit, but also...
Of course, blame the computer.
Blaming internet connection, to be more precise.
Yeah, that's sort of attached to the computer.
Is the sun still being praised? It is, with the second Shining Aerosaur.
Good.
This card is very close to a bomb.
The Aerosaur? I mean, it hits one of the nice definitions there. I would definitely counter it as the E part of it, or the E part of bread, but I don't know that it's entirely a bomb. It can act as a bomb in certain situations, but we need to be careful with just using bomb as, oh, this is a good card.
That is true. How do we block here? Because we want to keep up double blocks for our Shining Aerosaur, and if we block this, that means they trade. And then we'll lose out on the extra damage we need.
The option to double block a Shining Aerosaur. I'm open to just taking 3 because, as you and I well know, the only life total that matters is 0 and 1.
1 is the only amount of life that matters, because that's the last amount of life you have before you lose.
0 is an amount. And it means that you have already lost.
Unless you have Phyrexian life.
Yeah, no. I'm not drafting Phyrexian life out of an Ixalan pack.
How much more sun praising is going on? He failed to praise the sun!
Good.
So exactly how badly are we going to lose to a combat trick right now?
Knowing us, probably a lot.
So I think the actual correct play is to actually triple block the Shining Aerosaur, because that dodges. Does that? No. It only adds a point of power. He has to have a trick, though.
But he's playing white, so his trick might be just the shock and attacking or blocking creature.
Yeah.
I think the correct play is just a double block.
I think the correct might be to triple block, just in case he has the something that gives like +0/+1, which doesn't exist in this format.
Yeah, I was kind of playing to what actually is here, but I guess you're the one driving the Moto account, so...
No, you're probably right. If he has any sort of combat trick, it'll be more than 1/1, which is the only thing that Skyblade of the Legion helps with. It looks like he didn't. Cool. I'm down for that. Until he plays his second Shining Aerosaur.
That'd be a third Shining Aerosaur.
Correct as ever. Yeah, that's a thing.
Good.
Oh! Oh, it wouldn't have mattered. We had Spell Pierce, but he has more than 2 mana open. So I like the idea of attacking with the Territorial Hammer, or swinging in and tapping down the Looming Ultisaur.
And then forcing a trade with the Cleric or just taking damage.
Yeah.
And it makes it look like we're important. I'm down.
We're probably going to time out on this. We didn't. At least partially because of internet connection.
And mostly partially because of commentary.
Commentary is taking time. I'm not pretending it isn't, but we're probably going to time out this match.
So new rule. We only draft aggro decks.
I mean, he's taken 5 here. Like, that's not a non-zero amount of damage. Even if it doesn't even put him in negatives. Or, like, sub-starting life total, rather. Yep, that happens. And then main 2, we will play a Bishop Soldier.
I agree.
Okay. Is it a 3-3 or is it a 4-4?
I do declare, I do not know. Oh, there's a card.
That is a card. For 4 mana, you can threaten a creature.
I don't think it's threatening, really, based on that guy's outfit. I think it's more of enthralling or seducing.
Threatens the name of the card, and you know it.
Oh, really? I didn't know that was the case. I've only played Magic since Born of the Gods. There's certainly nothing that I've known outside of Standard in the current limited format.
Alright. I think this one's just to get our match loss.
I think you're probably right, as always, Mr. Co-host. But that doesn't mean we can't try and spell pierce anything that they allow us to spell pierce.
Yeah. Do you think we swing in with the 2-2 just to gain the point?
I mean, it makes us feel slightly satisfied.
That's fair. Just the 2-2. We want to gain some life.
Pro tip, we're also bluffing a combat trick with our 7 mana, sorry, I can't count, I'm only an engineering student, and 2 cards in hand.
He's actually thinking about this. Like, that's really amusing to me. Yes. That happens.
Maybe we're accidentally streaming instead of recording, and he's watching us on the other side.
Ghosting?
Mm-hmm.
I'd actually be pretty okay if someone was ghosting my stream. Because that means I'm important enough.
Actually watching it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you have a captivating crew, and then you just... If you don't have Fatal on the ground, you have Fatal on the ground in like 2 turns. I think at this point we lose our Skyblade of the Legion to the Teriodon.
I think you're probably right.
And then I think we chump the Sunrise Seeker.
Or, no, we couldn't double block realistically.
Well, we can, and in fact, double blocking might ironically be better because they do have Captivating Crew, so they'd be able to mind control anyone we leave out next turn.
They can't steal our stuff if we kill it first.
Yeah, basically. That's a good plan, right?
I wasn't going to go that far, but...
You wouldn't call it a good plan, it's just... It is a plan that exists. That's close enough, right?
Yes. But that doesn't mean that I fully endorse it.
That's fair. Alright, they're clearly thinking about something.
I mean, maybe they're too busy being seduced by the lovely art on Captivating Crew.
And then we dance.
I think we dance, actually. I don't think it's dance, sincerely. Although it might actually be more like a Jamaican accent. I'm not exactly sure of it. Ixalan's...
it's supposed to be like...
It's Mesoamerican, I know. But I don't know where the Captivating Crew is from.
That's fair.
I don't know if he's from the old world, which we don't know much about, or the new world, which he doesn't look like a mermaid or a dinosaur.
Yeah, he's quite clearly a pirate, actually. It's weird.
Really?
Yeah.
I just thought they'd eroded it to be human lord. Or sorry, human trilobite. I don't want to misspeak here.
What is this guy thinking so hard about?
Maybe he's starting his own podcast, and he's commentating in the other ground there.
There he goes.
Gonna pull up your credit card information for us?
Nope. I turned off...
I have to make some money off this somehow. Gotta buy textbooks.
Alright, so I think we just lose, because if we play any creatures, he mind controls it and swings at us.
But if we
3,
don't,
4, 5, 6, 10. If we don't, he has exactly fatal.
then we throw down Phosphorus Pirates. Let's make him think that we're an idiot, because he's probably right.
We're not idiots. We're reasonably skilled at this game, in fact.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Not enough to make a good Magic stream or YouTube series or anything, but
we can make.
I understand some of the rules.
But we can make a YouTube series. Doesn't have to be good. We can make one though.
Now viewership, that's a whole different ball game. I figure if we ever get viewers, they're gonna heckle us, so we might as well heckle ourselves and save them some trouble.
Oh yeah. Even if we manage to win this game, we have exactly 3 minutes left on our clock. Which isn't enough time to play another game.
You underestimate my power, sir. Obi-Wan.
So he's just making us sit and wait, so I'm legitimately considering just conceding to him because my time's worth more than this.
He says as he records a pixelated version of a paper card game to put on so that nobody can watch it. The value of your time is very questionable, Adam. But I'm not any better, so...
Alright, we're gonna go ahead and leave. He wins. We did bad.
No, we did poorly.
Do you have any comments about the game? Like things we could have done different?
I'm sure in hindsight, when I actually look back over it, I'm going to see a billion things that we did wrong. I don't think there was anything sincere that we should have done very intensely differently that I didn't notice and comment on immediately. Although I will say, our little introductions and talking about ourselves would have been a lot better had there been more warning and we would have scripted it.
Yeah, probably. This hand seems okay.
We don't have a play until turn 3, though.
Yeah.
Actually, we don't have a play. Never mind, I thought one of those dinosaurs was secretly a plains.
Alright, so... I like it, but I still think it's a mulligan. It requires too much ability.
It's a mulligan, even though you said it was the play earlier.
I would keep this on my own, but we're trying to...
Be a good example?
Yeah, basically.
That'd be an interesting idea. A YouTube channel where they take the wrong thing every time. Hopefully that's not what we're going to do.
Yeah. I think this one is a keep.
I think it's an option. It's not something I'd enjoy, but it's...
I think it's better than the average 5, which makes it a keep.
Yes. Average is being what it is, and all that. Might have to call an engineer to do that math.
That makes his hand very good. One with the winding, a territorial hammer skull, and swinging with a 4/5.
That would make me happy.
Yes, sir. Alright. We're gonna play an island and pass. Now the question is, exactly how many lightning strikes do they have?
Well, mathematically, there are, what, 15 cards packed doesn't matter in this situation. 3 packs a person, 8 packs. They could have 24, but assuming that approximately, what, an eighth of those have a foil, that adds, what, an extra 3? So I'm going to say 27 lightning strikes. Their deck is just lightning strike. The green is a secret splash, just to mess with us.
Alright, so they played the menace guy that makes us not able to gain life.
So what you're saying is we cast one with the wind on it.
No, what I'm saying is we cast one with the wind on our territorial hammer skull.
Really?
And hit him for 4. Because he also hurts us whenever we play creatures.
Good thing we're a blue-white deck and we're hard to control, and our curve doesn't top out at 5.
Yeah, most of those statements were untrue.
Somebody's got to advocate for the good old devil. And by that I mean make some comments.
Okay. Yeah, that's a thing. Grazing Whiptail. He has a 3/4 with reach in coming up on deck.
Good. Good thing we have a big old beater that also flies.
Yeah. So the question is, are we winning this race?
I
They
mean,
can do 6 to us a turn. So no?
I think the answer is probably no. We could swing in and loot.
I like actually leaving back for the turn, intending on countering, and having a blocker for the 3/3 with haste.
I'm open to that option. I think I'm getting some weird mic feedback from you. You might want to have a look at that at some point.
He has 5 mana. What's he gonna do with it? I think that's cancel worthy.
Yeah, he's a beater, and I think he has a pirate. Buccaneers is a pirate, yeah.
Yeah. So he'd have a second 3/3 with menace. That seems
That'd be
bad.
a bit of a scary.
So we... Sorry, I was yawning. So we know he drew a Grazing Whiptail. Alright, he has to have a trick.
Well, he has 2 mana. I can pull open Scryfall on the other tab.
There's the Sure Strike, plus 2/0 and First Strike. That would do it.
Yeah.
My guess is that's what he's on.
I'd be willing to believe that.
Because there's no other reason for this attack. But I think I'm willing to call him on it. What do you think?
I mean, he could dual shot and kill, he could lightning strike and kill, he could sure strike and kill. And I think that's about it. No, he could River Herald's Boon and kill. But sure, let's balls it.
I'm like 95% sure he has something. No?
Really? Okay.
Okay.
I was actually expecting a sure strike.
I was completely expecting a Sure Strike. So Legion's Judgment's a blank right now. So I think we play a Shipwreck Looter. Because the Stormfleet Fly is just better. And we want to have 2 blockers so that we can block the Menace Dude.
Wait, what? Let's go back a couple statements here. I must have missed something.
I think we play him. Because she's better, so we don't want to lose her when we double block him.
Okay. Now I got you. Something didn't click in my mind there. I don't know what happened.
I also said that this is a blank because there's nothing that hurts.
Yes, that statement is true. Sort of. It also kills our...
It would kill our own creature, yes. That is something that can be done with it.
We gotta keep our options open, Adam.
Pro tip. Murdering your own creatures with your removal spells is generally bad.
No, murdering them is... Yeah, murdering them is bad. Legion's judgmenting them, though. You gotta keep a careful judgment of your
So this is the one thing that punishes us for playing Shipwreck Ruler instead? So it deals 1 damage, so it'll kill
I don't
our...
know. Dual shot would have also punished us.
Okay, that's fair.
But it's okay now, we can Legion's Judgment. They're big scary.
Yeah. The problem is if we do that, we're going to take 3 damage again from this guy.
So I guess you just need to draw a land.
Yeah, I hope so. I actually don't think the land does anything for us.
No, but it makes me happy.
So we're going to take 3 from him, go to 4, and then play this and go to 3, and then we're dead to a lot of things. It doesn't seem like a good place to be, I'll be honest.
I think that's why we're dropping the Sunrise Seeker, remember?
Well, yeah, but next turn. We needed the 5/5 just off the board.
We needed that off the board, yes, but we're in a situation of everything we need, and yet we can only get about one of them.
Yeah, sure, you can play that. Take a damage. Nerd. If this is another creature... Oh. Okay. Yep. That's not good. He put Swashbuckling on it, which gives it +2/2 in haste.
Mm-hmm.
And now we lose?
That seems to be our thing.
Yeah, because we can play a blocker for this guy, but then we'll take 1 and lose to the Menace. Be at 3. And if we don't play a blocker, then we take 5 and lose.
That makes sense.
So that's the game. This isn't a particularly successful first set video, is it?
No, it's really, really not. We're doing a pretty good example for how to not win, though. Like, skipping out, lagging out, and missing about 4 picks is...
Yeah, that was probably not helpful.
Well, and the fact that we lost multiple times. But once again, let's not be results-orientated. Or oriented, also, for those of you that can actually speak good, proper English.
I actually like this hand, like, quite a bit.
I'm not overly fond of the 2 lands, but we can play the Stormfleet Spy. Or not the Stormfleet Spy, I'm in the wrong thing entirely, the Bishop Soldier.
Yeah, we have a turn 2 play, and then if we draw a land at all, we can Siren Lookout on turn 3.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's worth a keep.
And if we accidentally draw a mountain, we can turn our Headwater Sentries into a Fathom Fleet Firebrand, since that's the art that it shows.
Yeah, I'm going to have to work on getting all these arts to load correctly. This always happens whenever they release a new set. For me, at least.
Yeah, maybe they'll fix that with the totally not replacing Moto MTG Arena.
Well, MTG Arena is not supposed to have non-standard sets in it.
Yet.
No, just in general. It's not supposed to have not standard.
Good way to intentionally kill your new game.
It'll have draft, though, so it'll do fine.
Because really, that's about the only format.
It's the best one, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so he did get a land off of it, which means that's still only a 2/2. Hey, we got a land.
Sure.
We're great at this. So I
Swing
think...
in and then we drop the Stormfleet.
I think we want to
Or
play
the
the Siren
Siren.
Lookout, so the next turn we can attack and drop Stormfleet with Raid.
We can already do that, but I see your point, because we don't want to lose our soldier.
Yeah. So I think we want to play our Siren Lookout. We want Territorial Hamscop on the top.
Yes.
It's a rather good card. And now he doesn't have attacks with us.
The Territorial Hammer Skull is in your hand and on the field.
And then next turn we get in with the Siren Lookout and get to drop the Stormfleet Spy for the Raid Trigger draw card.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we want to do that sooner rather than later because we don't want to have to worry about... What?
We don't want to lose the game again?
That, but... we don't want to worry about him playing a reach creature and then not having an attack for the raid.
Uh-huh. Was really confused for a second how he cast that Skittering Heartstopper with 2 green mana.
Yeah.
And then I realized...
It's not a Skittering Heartstopper, and that's the main reason. When we even hit a land, that's basically an Explorer. Alright, so he's off red mana, which is terrifying because that means his entire hand's red.
Mm-hmm. I think we go to the old adage, which, if you're not familiar with, I'm about to say it. When in doubt, swing out.
I don't actually like swinging out because that kills one of our creatures.
I don't either. I just sort of wanted to say that.
I think we actually just sit, and if he plays something scary, we cancel it, and if he doesn't, we run aground his Tishana's Wayfinder on his instep.
Why not the Diviner?
Because we want to be able to attack with the Bishop Soldier.
Good answer.
Because if we attack into this, they'll trade, and if we attack into this, they'll bounce, but we'll still gain 2 life, so value. And if they hit a mountain and play something real scary... Oh, he just conceded. Cool.
Oh.
We have a game win.
Pro tip, guys, if you're going to start a Magic video series or like a podcast or something, always make sure that your opponent concedes so that you can look good. We actually used our exorbitant show budget to pay that man to concede.
The whole 75 cents.
Dude, you like tripled the amount I was willing to expend. And by that I mean a lot more than triple because 0 times any number is not 75.
I actually, I think our deck's fine. It wasn't great, and it sucks that we missed our first couple of picks. Having that Shining Aerosaur Pack 1 would have been, a game changer. Instead, we had in Herald of Secret Streams, which hasn't even landed yet.
I mean, if need be, we can just splash all the 3 other colors.
Alright, so he did some amount of sideboarding because it took him a while to start the game.
Either that or he's messing with us.
Mind games?
Mm-hmm. He's playing some mental magic.
This hand seems great. A Bishop Soldier into a Territorial Hammer Skull. Like that seems really good. And he mulligans to 6. He mulligans to 5.
Good. Okay.
To 5er. And he bottomed it. That's pretty good. Well, it's awful for him, but it's pretty good for us.
And that's what really matters. It's all about us. Not the one viewer who's only watching because she's related or any of that.
Bishop Soldier. Yeah, probably just a Hammer Skull.
Yeah, it's either a Hammer Skull or the Cleric. And I think it's going to be the Hammer Skull, and then if need be, Cleric next turn.
Now, technically that was a minor misplay. I should have played Territorial Hammer Skull main 2. But in Magic Online, there's a shortcut key that's F8, and it will pass your turn as long as you can't do anything. So since I tapped out before attacking, it passed through the rest of my turn, which was the reason that I did that. Yep. So I think the play is attack with both and then slam Cleric and keep up Spell Pierce if need be.
I agree. I'm starting to really like these ninja planes. I'm thinking I might need to get some altered.
Pretty nifty.
Especially since ninjas are only in blue-black.
Yeah, they are the exact wrong color for it.
Or, hear me out, right after the next core set, we're going to go to...
You already said that joke.
No, I didn't. We're going to Kamigawa so we can get Pirates versus Ninjas. I don't remember what joke I said earlier.
Exactly that.
Did I?
Yeah, you made the joke about how after Dominaria we're going to Kamigawa.
Really, so kids don't do drugs.
Speaking of, how's your magic mouthwash going?
I ran out of it, but I think I'm getting better.
So I think the idea here is it's either play Sunrise Seeker and just jam, or play Siren Lookout hoping to hit an island, and then be able to leave up Spell Piercer still.
I think, regardless of... No, actually, that'd be a bad thing to say. I like that, but I also like the idea of having a big old Sunrise Seeker that can just eat everything that comes at it.
Seems good to me. I think we tap down the Fathom Fleet Firebrand because he would theoretically be able to kill our...
Yes.
Hammer Skull, whereas the Deep Root Warrior cannot. And we're just going to keep coming and swinging because, you know, it's 5 damage and we gain 2 life. He is blocking there, which is interesting, unless he has a combat trick. And if he has a combat trick, we get him.
First trick.
Boom, Spell Pierce.
That's
actually, like, basically game. He conceded. Yeah, that's game. Like, that was enough of a blowout that... And that, kids, is why you never play creatures pre-combat. Because if we had JM Sunrise Seeker in main 1, we wouldn't have had the blue mana open to play that Spell Pierce, and we would have lost our Territorial Hammer Skull for no value. And instead, we got them to concede. Alright, we're going into match 3. We're 1-1. In Magic Online drafts, you have to go 2-1 to get packs. So we are playing for whether or not we get prize payout. I'm pretty okay with this hand. I don't think it's great, but I think it's better than a 6.
I'm really fond of it. We do have a play on turn 3, though.
I think it's better than a 6, but I'm not particularly happy with it.
It's the sort of thing I would definitely mulligan if I had a free mulligan.
Yes. If I had a free, it would be gone in a heartbeat, but we don't, which means I am not mulliganing it. Well, we're going to make our Territorial Hammer Skull real big.
I'm glad they gave us limited players Spectral Wings again.
With the one with the wind? Pretty good card. I like it. Looks like they're going to be red-black, and they're pirates, because that's generally what red-black is. And
their little icon is Karizev.
Yeah. Boop. It's a prestige version of Karizev, because it's silver. So it's weird that they didn't have... Oh, that's a good card. That's a card we want to kill.
Funny that.
So is it better to just play the Inspiring Cleric and then we have a blocker against it? Or do you think Territorial Hammer Skull and taking 4 is better this turn?
I think we need to maintain the idea of being open and fluid, so I think the correct play here is the Cleric, and keeping it up as a blocker for when they inevitably just Lightning Strike it instead.
Sure, and it gains us life, so it gets us out of it. Also, apparently, Mountains are Otepec Hunt Masters. So we have ninjas versus shamans, I guess, on board.
That'll be an interesting dual deck.
Yeah, that is certainly true.
I still wish they would give us a dual deck.
He is full-on Grixis. That is an Admiral Brecket Bass.
Yes, Admiral Brecket Ass.
Yep. Well, that is entirely terrifying. Do we just run aground it? Like, is that the play?
Well, the play is definitely drop an island, but I think the play here would be wait for them to swing in and then run aground their Beckett Brass and trade and kill their scoundrels.
Yeah, I like that idea. Of course, they're not going to actually attack with their Admiral because that'd be silly.
Well, yeah, we don't care if they're attacking or not.
And it also keeps them off of having her for another turn because she'll be their draw now.
Yeah. We just want them to attack with their scoundrels.
Alright, let us Fate Seal her Admiral. And then block.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm okay with our Inspiring Cleric either eating a combat trick or their creature. Although their creature's obviously much better.
Mm-hmm.
So I was fine with that combat ending either way. Okay, I'm fine with that. So I really like, especially if we hit a land, like Sunrise Seekering and then using our treasure for one with the wind on it, and then having a 6/6 Vigi Flyer.
I'd be down.
I'm pretty sure that's a good play.
I mean, they might have Spell Pierce open, but they might not.
I don't think we want Spell Pierce.
I don't think so either.
Like, I would be pretty fine with it actually for it to be in my hand, but it would be not. And I don't want that.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no... They don't have any instants or sorceries that would kill. Well, sorceries don't matter. They don't have any instants that would have killed them there.
Not going to Grasp of Darkness.
Yeah,
With
there's
one
no...
black mana open in the wrong format.
And that is another Admiral Beckett. So we're going to attack and do a fair amount of damage.
Mm-hmm.
6 is a lot.
I agree.
And then what play do you like after that?
After that, I am still fond of a Sunrise Seeker, although I could also make a case for a Siren Lookout and then hopefully draw another land in Stormfleet Spy.
Well, I was thinking
Or
the opposite
Stormfleet
order.
Spy and then draw a Siren Lookout. Yeah, I misread that. I thought they were both Siren Lookouts for a couple seconds.
And then we would like to hit a land. We did not, but we did hit a Slash of Talons.
That is a card.
I'm pretty okay with that.
Just save up later.
Because I'm okay with our Stormfleet Spy trading for their Ruthless Knave. That seems pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
What are they playing? Okay, naming pirates. This card gives all of the creatures of the chosen type 1/1, and then whenever they play a creature that's the same type, they draw a card. So they said pirates, and now their pirates are bigger, and whenever they play pirates, they draw cards. I think Siren Lookout holding up Slash is probably fine. Oh no, Emissary Sunrise holding up Slash is better, because he has First Strike.
That is true.
So then we can slash during blocker step,
Damage, yeah.
and then First Strike damage would kill.
Just be sure to leave the planes open.
Yeah. And is he a 3/2, or do we draw land? We want that in the graveyard. That is a strictly filler card. And we're gonna bash for 6. I guess I'm actually pretty happy with how this deck turned out. It was pretty good.
I've certainly made worse ones.
That first match against the Corrupt Flyers deck was just... It was a good deck on their part.
It's almost like the E in bread stands for evasion.
Why don't you explain what bread actually means for our listeners?
I was thinking about that for a couple seconds. For those of you who haven't or at least aren't familiar with the acronym BREAD, it is an acronym used when drafting to determine what one wants to draft. The B being bombs, anything that can change the game state on its own, i.e. can take you from losing and from parity to winning. After that, you get your removal, or good removal, hopefully. Things that get rid of other cards, like what we'd love to do to their Admiral Beckett Brass right now.
He's murderizing our Sunrise guy.
See, he understands. He's giving us a visual aid. And then after that, we get evasion, like what we lost the first game to. So a whole bunch of flying, menace, trample, fun things like that. And then past that, it sort of breaks down a little bit depending on your interpretation. I like A to be advantage. Anything that nets you more cards than it spends, like divination, 1 mana, or 1 card, 3 mana, draw 2 cards. So you're netting a card off that, therefore getting card advantage. And then for D, a lot of people like just dudes. This is where you fill out your curve with people that aren't necessarily bombs, aren't necessarily removal spells, and don't necessarily give you any sort of evasion or card advantage. They're just there like the Headwater Sentries to be there.
Alright. So he's only swinging with the Ruthless Knave. I think I'm okay with just slashing it and blocking with Emissary.
I think I'm okay with that too, even if they have a Lightning Strike.
Let's go ahead and make sure I clicked on the right guy, because Lie's a bitch.
So we're allowing swearing in the podcast.
Minor.
Okay.
Minor amount of swearing.
Because what if one of our 2 viewers is underage in a family environment?
Alright.
Don't want to scare away 50% of our viewer base.
Absolutely not. That'd be a true...
Atrocity, mistake,
tragedy,
misplay,
a loss.
tragedy, bad thing.
Okay, we can either just Slame Sunrise Seeker and have a 3/3/4/4 with Vigilance, or we can play both Siren Lookout and Territorial Hammer Skull.
I think the correct play is pray for a 4/4, because that blocks their dudes, and because otherwise the Hammer Skull's very rarely attacking, and the Lookout is attacking, but that's only because it has flying.
That's fair. So we're just hoping to hit a dude off of Sunrise Seeker so that it is a 4/4? We did. And we have a pirate. We have a good pirate for Siren's Ruse. So I'm happy with that, because that means we can swing with our Stormfleet Spy and then flicker our Stormfleet Spy and draw 2 cards. Because it will still...
Seashells by the seashore.
Yeah, because it will... Stormfleet Spy will have attacked, so that's all that Raid cares about. And then when it comes back, the Raid trigger will resolve because it attacked. The Siren's Ruse will resolve because it was a pirate. And the Stormfleet Spy will no longer be attacking because it got flickered during combat. So it's going to be a 2-mana Divination, which is actually a super good card.
Okay. I don't think it's a 2-mana Divination, per se.
It would be...
Oh, no, wait, that's the other one. That's not the Looter. That's the draw card. You're right.
Yeah. Are we just taking 4 off this guy?
I mean... Unless we want to double block and lose a dude, which we don't.
Yeah, we definitely
Life is a resource.
Life is a very good resource. Now, this is problematic. The fact that all of her creatures have +2/2. It's like a very big difference. What's going on now? Marauding Looter. You may loot at end of turn. And draw a card because Vanquisher's Banner. So I'm thinking it's actually like a legitimate strategy to attempt to deck them.
How many cards do I have left in Library? Where's that? Number 22. Okay.
Because every time they play a pirate creature, they'll draw a card. I don't think it's a good plan, but I think it's a possible plan.
Maybe we should sideboard down our mill options.
Did we keep in the second run aground?
I don't recall.
He did actually take the loot, which I don't blame him. He's very flooded also.
But he has all his mana.
So we are going to go to combat. Swing. We'll see if he blocks. Because if he doesn't block, it might just be 2 damage. We could be representing a trick.
I mean, we sort of are.
He's not afraid of it. Alright. I like Siren Lookout and the Bishop Soldier, both. Bishop Soldier gives us good blocks, and the Siren's Lookout can be a bigger flyer and put them on a clock.
I agree.
And I think we're basically at the point where we just want to play out all of our dudes. We did draw land off of it, which means the clock from our Siren Lookout is significantly worse.
What are you doing over there?
Snapping.
Okay, well, it sounds annoying, so you should stop. But there's no reason why we can't say something entertaining and educational while we're here.
Sure.
Unless, of course, they're distracting us by actually making us play the card game.
Yeah, it's pretty awful, actually. Making us play Magic the Gathering. So I think this is a clear block. Because first strike.
Otherwise, we take a bunch of damage.
Well, I meant this here specifically because first strike.
Yeah, and he's what, a 4/3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I like the both the 2/2s on this one.
On the other 4/3?
Yeah, either that or the Siren Lookout, which I don't want to because it's a flyer. So.
We need the flyers.
But I'd really rather trim down their creature count.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So I like those blocks.
Makes sense to me.
And let's see the combat trick that's absolutely coming.
So does your cell phone keep going off, or is that a different buzzing I hear?
It must be a different buzzing. It might be my air conditioner unit kicking on occasionally.
Okay. Because it's pretty darn frequent.
What did he just play? Oh, he's tapping out a lot of mana. Hasn't played anything yet.
Oh. That's weird.
That's a thing.
So kids, this is a planeswalker. They're good and limited. Play them.
I think we just lose to it. Because he can roll her down next turn, cause all my people not to be able to block and swing in for lethal. And that is a counter spell a turn too late.
Welcome to the land of counterspells.
Always.
This is a good visual example of why counterspells aren't very popular and limited. Because they're purely reactive. They do nothing to damage or help your situation based on what's already on the board. They only remove things that aren't even there yet.
Not to mention he also gained 6 life off of rolling her up.
Yeah, that was something.
You might not see it though. But if he minuses her, we just lose.
Pro tip: your opponent might be incompetent. Don't necessarily concede.
Nope, there it is.
Yep.
I think we want the second Spell Pierce.
On the off chance they draw Huatli.
Yeah. And another run aground.
What do we board out?
The Herald of Secret
Puzzle.
Streams and the stupid dork 2/5.
Yep.
I'm thinking about. I think that's it. I think that's what I like. Looming Altosaur doesn't do anything for us. The Raptor, who's the not Raptor, and an Encampment Keeper. No. Yeah.
Honestly, I would be fine if all the arts were Razzle Dazzle Raptor.
I would be pretty happy with that. I don't think we're keeping this.
Because it doesn't have any of them lights.
Yeah. That's a mulligan. That's worse.
But it has white sources.
And it has a 3-drop. But it's
And it has
so bad.
Hands. We don't want to give that many bad examples. Guys, this is a bad hand. Don't keep it.
Yeah. This is a pretty okay 5.
I mean, I don't like it, but I also don't like only having 4 cards to start with. Are we on the play or the draw? Where does it tell me that?
We're on play.
Okay, where am I supposed to find that on Magic Online?
It asks you at the start.
Okay, well, I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We lost previous game. It asked me. I said we wanted to play first.
Makes sense.
We really wanted that Legion's Judgment last game. We just never saw it, I don't think. Because it could have murdered their Admiral Bracket Brass, and then their entire board would have been a lot less scary.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not actually against just Legion's Judgmenting the Wanted Scoundrels.
And getting the 2 treasure. Yeah, I can make a mean case for that.
Next turn we can slam Prosperous Pirates.
Mm-hmm. Having fun over there?
Yeah, I'm enjoying myself.
Good.
That's a guy.
Yep.
We're gonna play bigger guy.
Mm-hmm. And he's going to play a pirate, so he gives his dude menace, so we can't block.
That's probably the case, yeah. But then next turn we can just play another Prosperous Pirates, and then we will be able to block.
Mm-hmm.
And then we can flicker the Prosperous Pirates with Sirens Roots for value. That's fine. He has Menace now. Also fine.
Looks like I can see the future, boys.
So I think I actually want to Pirates Roost or Sirens Roost now to get that extra card draw.
Treasure. Yeah.
Because it will give us the we'll get the treasure back anyway because it's the Prosperous Pirates that are getting flickered.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty okay draw. The Bishop Soldier.
He's a solid Dudamus.
So if we draw a Spell Pierce, we're just holding up Spell Pierce forever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I like the idea of a second Prosperous Pirates, followed by using the treasure to play Bishop Soldier.
I see no major complaints about that.
And he'll make some treasure. And then we will play a dude. And now we have excellent blocks against him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no attacks. That's interesting.
Maybe he was intimidated by our excellent blocks.
Basically. I don't actually know.
Oh, okay. You say your thing.
I was just going to say, I don't know what the play is here.
Well, good thing there are two of us. Let's see now.
I kind of like the idea of swinging in with one of the Prosperous Pirates, and then when he blocks, flickering it. Or flickering the blockers.
And by flickering, you mean fate sealing?
Yeah. Sorry.
I'm okay with that. Or
we can just swing in with one, and he'll double block, and
we'll balance the biggest blocker.
Well, I was just going to say, it will trade with both of them. 2 and a 1.
That's true. Or we could swing both the pirates, and possibly just get extra damage in. No, let's not do that, because then we won't have an extra blocker.
Well, if we do that, he won't have menace anymore. Because both his pirates will be down. I like the idea of this. And if anything goes horrifically wrong, we always have Fate Seal to get us out of it. Oh, he's just taking 6.
Okay.
Is the play a Territorial Hammer Skull so we can block the Brute?
I don't think so. I think if need be, we can just Fate Seal the Brute.
Yeah, I think we're okay with it too. What's he playing? Unfriendly Fire to deal 4. I think we have to let that happen.
I mean, the only other option is to Fate Seal the Pirate.
Yeah, but then we don't have a 5th land to play it again.
That's true. I think we let it happen. We consent.
That looks like an Admiral Beckett Brass to me.
I'd be willing to believe that, yeah.
So we Fate Seal Admiral Beckett Brass after attacks and get someone?
Mm-hmm.
I think we block the Pumper, because we don't want to give him treasure, and because the Pumper represents more damage.
I agree.
What's better, the Hammer Skull or the Lookout? I think the Lookout is.
I also am tending to agree with the Lookout because it might be a better... It's either going to be the same or less. Or better or worse. Yeah, there's no middle ground.
I don't think we want the Inspiring Cleric.
I don't know. 4 life's kind of nice.
Yeah, but I don't think he's going to win off of Incidental. He's going to win off of slamming Huatli and getting in for 30,000 damage.
That could be true, but we're also basing that he's going to win off of a card that he has one of in a 40-card deck, and that currently he can't even cast.
I'd rather the top card of my deck be basically anything than this card. I think that's fair to say.
I can understand your sentiment.
But it is a creature, so it'll hang out. Okay. Do we get in, or do we hold back blockers?
I think we hold back blockers.
Okay.
Because right now he's on the beatdown.
He is also top decking. Which means this is Admiral Beckett Brass.
Yep.
I think we're okay with blocking the Dire Fleet Hoarder. He'll get a treasure out of it, and then Desperate Castaways will be able to attack, but I don't want to double block the Headstrong Brute and lose one of my creatures.
I mean, we're going to be losing a dude anyway.
No, he's a 3-2. If we block with the 3-4, we're fine.
Oh, wait, we have 3-4. You're right.
And I think giving him a second 3-4 next turn's fine, because we'll have a second blocker that we can throw in front of people. We're going to play this guy and gain that life back.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, what is his play? So let's think about our blocks, provided nothing changes on the board.
Okay.
Oh, no blocks necessary. Alrighty.
Oh.
I like Territory Hammerskull and getting in for 2. Actually, no, I like the Skyblade, because it will let us double block the Menace easier, and it's less useful than the Hammerskull.
Mm-hmm.
But I still like getting in for 2.
I like getting in for 2, but we're still on the defense right now. That's not where I'd like to be.
I think we're less defensive than you think we are.
Well, I can't choose the cup in front of me because clearly you would have known that I would have known that and you would have poisoned it.
Yes. Because realistically, he only has 2 attackers because he's never swinging with Beckett Brass. One of the attackers has Menace, and we'll have 3 blockers.
That's true.
And even if he does like have a kill spell and gets through with the 4/4 once, like that's not actually the end of the world at all. Alright, so he top decked a swamp at some point because he played a land. That's also a really good time to hold lands is when you're straight top decking, because then the value of it being a top deck, like him having 1 extra land here isn't nearly as helpful as us not knowing that he has a lightning strike, for example. Like a combat trick or something would be much, much better than playing out a swamp.
Mm-hmm. If you open the door, you know that it's a bunny rabbit. But if the door is closed, it might as well be a 30-foot tall axe murderer. Or it could be a bunny rabbit, but you don't know.
He's playing a something. Okay.
I would agree.
So if we draw a creature, we have him on a 3-turn clock, because we can quite comfortably swing with both of our flyers. Or a 4-turn clock. Math is hard.
What math are you in right now?
I'm not in math anymore.
Ooh, congrats.
I'm 100% okay with that being our draw.
Yep, especially because we can actually cast it.
Yeah. For going to 5 and being mana screwed, we actually ended up making this quite a game.
You say that like it's over.
No, I'm saying that, like, we made it into a game.
Oh, it's definitely a game. It's certainly not a sport.
Because it was not going to be a game with how our draws started. And it is now a game. Pretty comfortably. Alright. This is a difference here. I'm going to play at that Plains because he knows we drew it, because the Explorer reveals the top card. So he knew the card in our hand was a Plains. And while 6 mana is not horrifically different than 5 mana, we have very diminishing returns on actually playing that out. Sure. So I think we get this one, but I don't think we get the match because we only have 5 more minutes.
I'm open to believing that.
That's a cancel. That makes me feel really good about our chances now. Because if he plays anything ridiculously scary, we get to ignore it. So what would be the advantage of next turn? Well, the advantage is we win a turn faster. But how could swinging out next turn go wrong?
Well, let's see what he's got here. He can't block with the Brute, so we can ignore that.
Whatever we tap down with the Hammer Skull, he's just going to use to crew the Dreadnought.
Yep. And if we don't do that, then he's going to, or maybe not, he's not going to crew with the Brute because the Brute is attacking. As it always honestly should. Or mostly always.
Yeah. And I'm not worried about the 4 damage at all. I think we actually want to counter the Looter.
Yeah, because I think he needs the card draw.
So if we swing out, we get in for 3 points, put him at 1, because air damage. He has 3 blockers for 1, 2, 3, 4 creatures. I think it's lethal if we just swing.
Unless he has a heck of a combat trick in hand.
Oh, he just concedes. Cool. So that tells us no, he did not have a combat trick in hand.
And now we have 5 minutes to finish game 3.
I think we're fine with just resubmitting like this. So I'm not going to narrate my turns as much because I really want to try to win this if we can. So I'm going to be playing more at the speed that I normally do, provided Moto decides to keep up with me, because Skype has been causing quite a bit of lag.
And I'm going to be along for the ride, I suppose, see if I can entertain those during other turns.
Well, you can feel free to narrate my turns. I did it for you over the weekend.
Well, yeah, but that was because I had some sort of magical throat cancer and couldn't talk.
And now I'm on a clock and I can't talk.
Okay, so we're not keeping that one. We might be keeping this one, however, and I think the answer is probably yes, because we can do the Emissary of Sunrise. And now an Inspiring Cleric on turn 3. So let's see what Mr. Adam here's got. An Inspiring Cleric. Oh boy. Drops the Plains, moves his hand around, flicks his cards a few times to annoy the opponent, and then passes turn. Ooh, what's he gonna do about that Diafleet holder? He's gonna play an island, and then he's probably gonna pass his turn again. And then let me guess, on turn 3, he's probably going to drop an Emissary of Sunrise. After dropping an island, of course. Okay, what we got up here? He's got his full mana online. And we got some weird background noise. Mr. Adams, barring any sort of weird tricks, of course, probably just going to... Oh, this changes things. He's got a dude, okay. Well, he's still probably going to drop the Inspiring Cleric. Unless he wants to attack when getting with the Stormfleet Spy. He's not swinging because there's a Desperate Castaways on field. He's just dropping Inspiring Cleric and passing turn. And on the other side of the world, he's doing something. What's he doing with that red mana over there? Ooh, he's killing our dude. That's not nice. Or wait, no, he's hitting us. Okay, that's slightly less important. Oh no, wait, he did kill our dude. Okay, I'm an idiot. That's why I'm playing the learner role instead of teacher role. What's he gonna do? He ain't gonna swing, because then he would die. He gonna sit there and play a Paladin on a Bloodstain. Now what's the Cucarachas gonna do over there? Probably going. He's probably up to swing with the Hoarder, hoping that you block with the Bloodstain, but you're not because that's wrong. You're going to block with the Vampire. Yep. Or, oh wait, he's got some indecision. There we go. Them is scary. You blink to take a drink and they drop a big scary pirate granny. What'll they think of next? I think we think of a Sunrise Seeker or a Skyblade and a Stormfleet Spy to draw a card, or Flickering the Cleric. That's an option too. Okay. Getting that value there. Okay, well that seems pretty obvious. One with the wind, the dude, and then do some stuff. Or, ooh, he's getting frisky, dropping a Sunrise Seeker. And then he's still one with the wind thing to do. Whew, look at the balls on this man. Let's see if she fix that webcam there. Okay. Blocks with the big scary. clearly need to work on my narration skills. I wouldn't watch this. Get that exploration going, and then probably drop a hammer skull second main, assuming you don't see something really cool on top. Hello?
It's just lagging.
Okay, I wasn't sure if there was something I was missing here. I assumed it was lag, but... And he... Yeah. No, he keeps the Prosperous Pirates. He's got a bunch of dudes on board, so might as well keep it on top. Let's see, what does Mr. Cha-Cha's have here? Is he gonna swing? Is he gonna... Oh, he is gonna swing. Oh, boy. Mr. Adams probably just gonna let it be. For fear of combat tricks, of course. He's gonna raid, probably bolt a 2-2 or 3-2. That works too. Loving that totally uncalled top deck. Is he gonna swing? He could swing it in the air and not lose an awful lot, so he can't think of a real reason not to. If he does swing in the air, that presents a total of about 8 damage, which puts the opponent on a 2-turn clock, but also leaves Adam down 2 blockers. What will our hero decide, young listeners? Will he swing in, or will he not? You decide on Choose Your Own Adventure. Or not. That works too. Is Skype being really laggy for you, Adam, or is it Moto?
It's Moto.
Okay, that's slightly scarier. Well, I guess we'll just have to talk about some more magic theory. We've already gone over bread.
You can talk about cabs.
Caps?
Cabs, cards that affect board state.
Oh, okay. I was like, caps? What is a cap? So cards that affect board state. This comes in when we're talking about big flashy spells. This is in reference to don't take the big flashy spells. Like, what's a good example? There's nothing major on the field here. But if we're talking Ixalan, there happens to be a red enchantment that definitely falls under the things that we do not want. That being Trove of Temptation. Because while it does force the opponent to attack you, which they might have done anyway, it doesn't actually do anything on its own. It just gets you a treasure. It doesn't kill anything the turn it comes down. It doesn't buff your things the turn it comes down. It just sort of comes down. Which is not generally what you want on your turn 4. Unless you're sitting in a very Pillow 40 control deck, in which case you're probably not playing red and Ixalan Unlimited. Any objections to my quick summary of cabs, Mr. Adam?
No, that's about it. And as long as he doesn't have a burn, something that kills one of our flyers, this is representing a fatal attack.
Excellent.
And we do have run aground if anything needs to happen. Okay, he's tapping out a lot. For unfriendly fire to kill our flyer. I think we're okay with that, actually. Because that doesn't stop us from having lethal next turn. And if anything goes horrifically wrong, we can Fate Seal his Marauding Leader. And then he doesn't have his loot at the end of turn. Alright, he's tapping out. It's a Vanquisher's banner, which I think I'm okay with, actually.
I mean, it's still a scary son of a gun.
Oh, most definitely. But he tapped out for that, and now I'm going to Fate Seal it. Alright, that's 3, 7. I need a couple blocks. But I know he doesn't have anything. At least
Oxford's Pirates could block reasonably well. I can't really see what's on his board because his entire side of the field pixelated out for me. So I can't really provide strategical advice. But I can sit here and smile.
You're very good at that, friend. Okay, we don't actually care how blocks resolve. We just need to block before combat. We have 10 seconds left on our clock.
Swinging with the team.
We won at 1 second left on the clock. Alright, that is our first draft video. We went 2-1, which got us packs. I'm pretty happy with that result. What about you, Chris?
It could be a lot worse, especially considering what we had to work with, and seeing as 50% of our podcasting team, or not podcasting, I don't know why I keep saying that, couldn't see the board about half the time because of Moto's pixelation and lag. So I think, based on what happened, no major complaints.
I'm going to go ahead and enter that result into our split red sheet that will track how we've done. For limited experience, today is the 27th. We went 2-1. We were blue, white. Do you have anything in particular to say about this?
I would make a note of our weird force picks, and that we've learned definitely that flyers are king.
Well, yeah. And then in combined, this was for Ellie. It was today. We went 2-1 with a blue-white deck. Force picked.
That says black-white instead of blue-white.
Thank you.
That's why he keeps me around.
Yep. No other reasons. And I did do it right there.
The whole rest of it's just me smiling.
I am sitting at a flat 60% win rate in this format.
Hey, two-thirds ain't bad.
I've done 2 drafts and went 2-1 in both of them.
For those of you that didn't watch the one that he didn't put up, that's because he didn't put it up.
Well, yeah, because it wasn't for this podcast. It wasn't for this series. It was for... I wanted to do a draft, so I did. That's all we have for you today. Feel free to give us any comments in the section.
People do on YouTube. Feel free to heckle us and provide critiques, like anyone that actually comments is going to.
If I'm going to include our email for the show in the description for the YouTube, it's limitedexperienceshow@gmail.com. But again, that will be in the description. All right. Bye, guys, I guess. Chris, you have anything to say?
I will say that we should have in the description of the show little links to say, okay, here's the draft, here's the deck, here's round 1, round 2, round 3, just for ease of access in case you've made it this far and haven't lost your place already. And I think that's it for the Chris side of things. Anything from you, Adam?
No. Have a good night, guys.
Okay. Have fun doing whatever it is you do.